So it's a few nights until Christmas and we haven't given you your present yet. I know you've been waiting, I know you've been excited. So we're giving it to you now. Here is our special recipe to make spiced orange kombucha. Hello and welcome to the Fermentation Show. It's a few nights to Christmas and I hope you're all having a pleasant week. I found out my trip to Paris was cancelled this week, so that was a nice surprise. So that's all good from here. But yeah, I wanted to do a bit more of a festive thing, and I thought we'd go back to our roots and make a lovely homemade kombucha that you can make at home. Easy recipe. And I just want to share it with you and hopefully get you in the spirit of making some festive drinks and sharing it with your family around this special time. So yeah, this is my special recipe to make spiced orange kombucha. So for this recipe, you don't need a lot. And I've made it very, very, very clear that I am not adding any flavorings after the first fermentation. Personally, I don't like adding the syrups or the cordials. I just think that's a bit basic. And you know, you could do that to anything, but to me, flavoring the tea and brewing it in that flavor is just so much better. It has so many more benefits, makes it natural, less sugar, less everything, and it's perfect. So here's what I've got. I've got my jar of water. I've got an Egyptian SCOBY to give it kind of a more hibiscus flavor to it. I've got some Paimutan tea. Is it Paimutan? Yeah, I've got some Paimutan tea here, which is the type of white tea, which gives off a bit less of a vinegary kind of thing, makes it a bit more easy to drink for anyone who's never had kombucha before. I've got my base flavor here, which is an orange and peach tea, kind of a sweet immune system tea made by Tetley. It's really nice, and I know we've got plenty in the house, so I took a box. And we've got our mixed spices here, our winter spices. You know, give it that wintry kind of cinnamon, clove, all of that kind of nice spiciness. So yeah, this is pretty much it. Oh, and of course the main ingredient, I've got some organic cane sugar, which is, you know, available on our website. I'll put the link down below if you want to get yourself a bag of this. But that's it, we're not adding any more to it. It's as easy as that. We've also got our induction hot, is it? It's not plugged in. We've got our induction hob here to boil the water with. But I'd like to just, you know, kind of do a walkthrough, talk about some stuff that people, you know, make mistakes on and stuff like that. Just nice, good stuff. There's a little bit of a controversy when it comes to metal in kombucha. A lot of people say, you know, you can't do it, it's too acidic and it will rust into the thing, which is absolutely fine. If you don't want to use it, don't use it. There's a lot of custom things you can do. Either use tea in the bag or get a brew bag or loads of stuff like that. In my personal belief, I don't think this will be a problem, as it's boiling in a metal pan, so to filter the tea through the metal, I can't imagine would be a huge issue. So I'm doing it. And I also don't have a spoon, so I've got my fork to stir, which, you know, might do well. I don't know. We wing it sometimes. That's what we do. It's Christmas. Give me a break. Okay, so first thing we want to do is turn this on, and I'm turning that to high. I'm gonna put that in and just straight away pour the water into the pan, just like that. So the key here is to make sure that you are brewing the tea in boiling water, as it incorporates a lot better when the water is boiling rather than cold. I don't know the science behind it, but you know, it works. So we're doing it. So you may be wondering why I'm using an Egyptian SCOBY and not one of our other lovely SCOBYs here. Because of course this isn't hibiscus tea, so why would I be using an Egyptian SCOBY with white tea? So the reason for this is just, it's a hibiscus kind of thing. It's a bit fruity, a bit more, a little punchier, a bit more flavor to it. And I just think it's perfect for this recipe. Give it a bit more of a floral essence, and it's a bit more Christmassy, in my opinion. So while this is brewing, I've actually taken all of my tea and flavorings I'm going to do and put it in this jar. So what I've done with the spice, because I know that some of the spice wouldn't go through this and it would stay in the thing, and obviously you don't really want a lot of things in your tea still. What I've done is I've cut open one of these tea bags and just put 3/8 of a teaspoons in each of these. And then just tied them back up, so hopefully no spices will get out and it will just, you know, all stay in there. So yeah, without further ado, let's just pour all of this in, just like that. Now, it's critical that you kind of mix it all in, make sure it's all submerged, because that's how you're going to get the most of your flavour. Let's just have a look, and it looks like that's all incorporating. Yeah, we've got a nice pinkish sort of water. Right, so now what we're going to do is we're just going to add our cane sugar to it. I'll put the amount up here of how much you need. But yeah, you want to do that because this is pretty much what's gonna work the magic. It's the sugar that's important in this. So essentially what you want to do here is you want to make a sweet tea. That is pretty much the base. You can make any tea you want. As long as it has tannins in it, it should work absolutely fine. Tannins is essential for kombucha. If your tea does not have tannin in it, it just won't do anything. It won't ferment, and that's obviously not ideal. Oh, it smells good. It smells so good. The kombucha is now smoking and that's good. Now, I believe it is safe to say that we are all done here. So what I'm gonna do, oh my God, I'm just gonna take that off the heat. Shut up, stop making clicking noises. So I have a bowl here. Do not wanna pour this straight into the jar, because if that jar has boiling water in it, it could crack, which obviously is not what we want. So what we should have now is our pan of tea. And we just want to pour that in there so that catches, I'm making a mess, so that catches all of the stuff we don't want in there and leave us with the tea that we do want. Now, we do not want to add our kombucha culture now, as it will just kill any bacteria that's in that thing. This needs to cool down to about room temperature before you put it in, which can take a while if you leave it out to set naturally. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna let this sit somewhere a bit cooler. Okay, so now this is cooled to room temperature, and what I did is I also put some extra tea bags in there to give it more of an orange flavor. And as you can see, it's quite an orangey looking liquid. What I'm gonna do to get the extra little bit of tea out, I'm gonna pour it into this bucket. Now this is where the siev's gonna come in, and I hope I don't make a mess here. I'm just gonna very carefully pour this in there. And I can see it's all actually stuck to the bottom, which is fine, but I might leave some of that in there. So we're gonna leave that little last bit in the bowl so that this is now pure and clear, which is good. And that's exactly what we want. So now what I'm gonna do is I've got my jar, and because this is now cooled down to room temperature, it's now actually safe to pour into the jar. There we are. So that's looking good. And now what I'm gonna do is put that down there, is I'm gonna put my SCOBY in. Now again, this is the Egyptian SCOBY to give it a bit more of a hibiscus flavor. So let's just open this. Let's pour that starter tea, which is the most important part. And then let's put the SCOBY in. I haven't made kombucha in so long. Should I give it a stir? We'll give it a little bit of a stir, just to get everything around. Now again, do not expect your SCOBY to 100% float all of the time. It does not matter what it does. So it can literally stay at the bottom the whole time if it wants to, and this is nothing to worry about. I find personally, it depends on how much sugar's in there. However, I don't think it really matters too much. And it has got a bit of a pinkish tone to it, which is nice. So now I'm gonna get my fermentation hat, which is one of these. And this is so simple and works with pretty much all kilner jars. All you do is put it on top, press it down, and you're ready to go. If you want to get one of these, I'll put the link down in the description below so you can pick yourself up one of these freshly fermented exclusive fermentation hats. Okay, so now all we need to do is let this ferment for about 5 days. That's kind of the sweet spot when it comes to making kombucha. 5 days is where you're going to get your sweetest thing. And you'll see that I'm going to keep fermenting some stuff. Really the aim of this is to fill up these shelves with some ferments, so like sourdough, kefir, milk kefir, stuff like that. Which is why we've done that. So I'd love to film myself trying this, but I am actually going to London in a few days, so I won't have a chance to try it while it's once it's been fermented. Yeah. And that is how to make an orange spiced kombucha. And again, if there's anything you should take away from this video, it is just how customizable kombucha actually is. It's so easy to just make whatever you want. The first time I tried kombucha, I wasn't a fan. I thought it was very vinegary and bitter, and I don't really like drinking it. However, finding the combinations of what tea and what flavors and putting it together and experimenting is pretty much what making kombucha is all about. Not every kombucha needs to be the same. Not every kombucha is made a certain way. Assam tea and a regular SCOBY, you know, it's as basic as kombucha gets. Still tastes amazing, but it's as basic as kombucha gets. So managing to find these paths into different flavor profiles and finding out what goes with what and just kind of combining them all together is just a perfect way of, you know, getting that grip onto fermentation and finding that love for making a drink that you have just put your heart and soul into, just to drink it. That made no sense. I hope you all have a very good Christmas, and I really genuinely hope you do have a go at making this, because I do predict this will be quite a nice drink. And if you have any festive ferments, please leave them in the comments down below. And if you want to share your recipes, please head over to the Facebook group down in the description below, so you can just, you know, share your recipes with other people who like fermentation, and then hopefully find some new recipes to make yourself. And we're all a very big community down there. We all have a bit of fun, and it's, you know, it's nice to be part of the fermentation group. I hope you all have a very good Christmas and a happy new year. There's not going to be a regular episode next week. It's going to be a bit of a best bits from 2021. You won't see me till next year, you know, face to face. You'll see some previous clips, but again, I hope you have a lovely Christmas, and I hope you get everything you asked for, and I hope you can spend it with your family and have a nice time. If you did enjoy this episode, please leave a like down below. I really appreciate it. And if you like what you see, please subscribe with the bell notifications on, so make sure you never miss a video. And before we go, I'd just like to say another thank you for helping us hit beyond our target. We're on over 200 subscribers now in less than a week. That is incredible, and I appreciate every single one of you that watches this show and has subscribed and, you know, likes the video, comments on them. I appreciate it so dearly, and I genuinely hope you have a very good year. But anyway, that's all from me. Happy Christmas, and I'll see you next year. Thanks for watching.